according to Freddie Mac. Looking historically, that's quite a contrast to the 18.45% rate of October 1981. Ouch. But given the economic climate, are low rates enough to entice prospective home buyers? Well, Benjamin Clark is the president of the National Association of Exclusive Buyer Agents, also a licensed real estate agent in Salt Lake City, Utah. And Fred Glick is the president of U.S. Loans Mortgage and a licensed real estate agent and mortgage broker based in Philadelphia. Ben and Fred, thank you very much for joining us. Ben, let me get to you first of all, because you recently polled your members, I believe, about just how low they think that rates have to go before we're going to see a substantial pickup in buying. What were the results?
Well, the results were that 42% of the members polled said that rates could not go low enough, meaning that rates alone are not a magic pill for the economy.
So basically, if you don't have a job, no matter how low rates are, you're still not going to get out there and buy. So what do we need to happen? If it's not just low rates, what else needs to happen, Fred?
Jobs.
Jobs.
That's it.
All roads lead to jobs.
Yeah, it's that simple. I don't care if the rates go down to 1%. The point is that if there's no jobs, there's not going to be any houses available for people to buy. So it just doesn't make any sense. It's a refi world now. It's crazy refi world. And hopefully the lower payments will throw some money into the economy and hopefully create some jobs.
I'm wondering whether the banks are also partly responsible. And I know, considering the experience they've had, they've gone a lot stricter with their checking out of everybody's credit. And, you can understand why. But nonetheless, they're actually making it harder, aren't they, for the housing market to reinvigorate itself by checking everybody so much, do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I've had a lot of members complaining that they've kind of gone to the extreme of making it pretty difficult to get a mortgage with increased down payments, increased costs and fees, increased mortgage insurance. So it's definitely making it a factor for people who want to buy a home today and are just not quite able to qualify.
Here's a question, Fred. Buyers have become used to, various government handouts and various stimulus programs. Of course, there's low rates for a start, and then we had the tax credit for first home buyers. So what happens when eventually we get back to a more normal situation in the housing market? What's going to happen then? And, is that even just years out? We even shouldn't be talking about it.
I think it's 5 years until anything gets back to where it was, because there's nothing to really say to the economy, wow, these are the jobs we're going to create. These are the types of jobs. So therefore, we're going to stimulate the economy like crazy, like we did with computers in the 90s. There's nothing out there to do that. So I think it's going to take a while to just slowly build up the economy. So what's going to happen then? We're going to have the foreclosures go away. I know Diana talked about all the foreclosures that finally came on board. This may be the beginning of the shadow inventory that everybody's been talking about peeking into the market. So the combination of the shadow inventory and maybe the low rates and maybe a little job creation will give us a little stimulus going the other way now.
What do you think on that, Ben? Do you agree?
I think that job creation is obviously the most important factor, and it's not necessarily new jobs, but the number one reason that our members said that buyers in the market today are shy about buying is lack of job security. So it's not just necessarily they don't have a job, it's that they're concerned that they may not in the future.
Ben, there was a story in today's New York Times highlighting that home equity loans are actually defaulting at a faster rate than homes. With the more money borrowed by homeowners, the more likely apparently they are to default. So is this an even bigger threat to the market that's looming out there?
It's certainly a threat to the economy. It mentioned that the more expensive, the higher dollar loans were less likely to get paid back than the lower dollar loans. And, obviously it's all about dollars and cents, and so it definitely will have an impact on the economy.
Fred, would it be a bad idea to bring back, for example, the home buyer tax credits? Obviously it did great things while it was in implementation, but then now we're suffering from the hangover. A lot of those purchases were brought forward, and you can't just keep on doing that, can you? But is there something else out there that we could do that would have a better effect, more sustainable effect on the market?
Well, I think Ben was absolutely 100% right. It's job security that'll bring the people who can qualify to the table and go out and buy a house, stop renting. That's another problem. The rentals are so much cheaper now that people are saying to themselves, why should I buy? I can rent so cheap. So it's a very hard thing, and it's a market-to-market situation with supply, demand, jobs, and it's just got to slowly creep back into this. Even if we gave another tax credit, I don't think it's going to bring anybody forward. You've got to be comfortable with wanting to stay in a property for a long term to be able to buy.
And it is a market-to-market thing, isn't it? I mean, it's very local. So, so Ben, where are you seeing, as a real estate agent, where are you seeing the pockets of strength?
Well, I think, like he said, that a lot of the buyers who would be out there today, because of the stimulus and the intervention, have already bought homes, maybe prematurely even. They would be the people who would normally save up to buy a home, but because of the incentives, they would be in the pipeline today, but they've already squeezed them out of the pipeline. And so the areas where you're going to have increased growth in the near future are primarily the areas that are going to have jobs, that are going through economic growth at this time.
It's like Rome. It's the new proverbial, all roads lead to jobs. Thank you very much. An interesting conversation, guys.
Thank you.